Okay, I call the meeting to order. Call for pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic which stands
one nation,
one nation under God,
indivisible,
liberty,
justice for all. Okay. This is a public hearing for the public notice proposed changes to the sewer rate. The Seymour WPCA will have a public hearing on September 14th, teleconference to regular meeting to follow. Public hearing is about raising the sewer use rate from 5.06 to 5.556 per 100 CCF with a minimum bill of $133, and the well rate is to remain at $181. Any public comment?
No one submitted public comment.
Nobody did? Okay. No public comment. I guess we're set with that then. We could adjourn this section and continue with our regular meeting. I call the regular meeting to order.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, you have to make a motion to adjourn the meeting each time.
Sorry.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
This is Don. I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I'll second Dick.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Chair votes aye. On to our regular meeting. I call the meeting to order. I get approval of the minutes for August 3rd for 2020.
John Yahalski, I make a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, got a second?
This is Don. I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Chair votes aye. Make a motion to accept the newer sewer rates. Yeah, motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the new rates, John Yahalski.
I'll second
Okay.
that, Nick Telosio.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Chair votes aye. Okay. The Veolia Water reports.
Okay, this is Walter Royals. I'm going over the monthly report for August 2020. I'll just try to hit the highlights here, but the plant was in compliance for all the parameters, monitoring requirements. I'd like to just go back to the storm. The plant ran on an emergency generator from the August 4th through the 8th. Soaktown Roofing replaced some roof drain scuppers on the roof, which seemed to help. Haynes delivered 7 tons of trap rock for the base of the biofilter. I had talked to Jim and we had it delivered. I don't have it in here, but Public Works came Friday and used their machine to spread it out. Boilers were inspected. As far as the pump stations during the storm, 9 out of the 10 were on emergency generators, and we had problems with 2 of them. North Derby, the day tank fuel controller was malfunctioning, so the staff had to come in nights every so many hours and monitor the pump station. We were pumping fuel to the generator to keep it operating until the power was restored. We identified the cause as the fuel level sensor. We ordered it and we installed it, and that took care of that problem at North Derby. South Derby, the generator began failing on 7 August and wouldn't stay running. We had tower generator come in. They diagnosed the problem. The problem was the fuel injector pump. They took it out. They had to disassemble part of the generator. Took it out to get rebuilt. In the meantime, we needed to keep a generator there. We rented a generator, which is still there. They're scheduled to come back tomorrow and put the part in that they took out. So hopefully, if all goes well tomorrow, we'll have that generator back up and running, and we'll have it tested, and we can get rid of the temporary generator. Otherwise, we had a couple calls for possible backups, which turned out not to be backups, but we jetted the area, the streets, part of the streets anyways, as a precaution. We also jetted Kinneytown Siphon several times, and we're probably going to go back out there and do that next week. We marked out manholes on Cogwheel, Progress, and Silvermine. 1 manhole cover was replaced. And okay, replaced a battery at Nickel Mine Pump Station also. Now I'd like to go over the annual flow and loading adjustment. That was in the attachments. What it's showing is it's based off the flow. If the flow increases by more than 10%, anything over 10%, we use that for the flow and loading adjustment and apply that to the BOD, TSS, and then it's based off the cost of the electricity and the sludge. Add that percentage, and then you come up with a total annual, and then the monthly is $2,895.23, which is lower than the last time, which was like $4,600. So the flow is coming down. I expect next year to be even lower. Is there any questions on that? No questions? Okay. Let's see. The R&M limit, we're up to $21,982.72 spent. The budgeted amount up to date is for August was $16,666.64. So we're $5,316.08 over spent up to date for August. I think it's running about a little less than last year. The next thing is the Long Island Sound Nutrient Reduction Program. There's an invoice from the state here for $5,683. I believe I'd sent out the draft copy of this a couple months ago. It was a little higher. It was like $5,700. They came out with a final revised one. It's $5,683. I think it was like $20, $30 cheaper than it was with their draft. So this has to be paid by October 29th. So it's in in this month's bills, so hopefully we can approve it tonight, and the town can get the check to the state before October 29th. And no accidents or injuries. The ladder safety for general industry. And blower number 3, I wanted to go over that has been repaired. They replaced a magnetic bearing sensor, so that's been this beginning of this month was put back in service. Oh, one more thing. I don't understand. We have a problem at Titus Pump Station. One of the pumps is making a lot of vibration and loosening the bolts on the housing of the pump. We had taken a pump out, cleaned it, put it back in, it's still making noise. I talked to the, I guess you'd call it the manufacturer's representative, and it sounds like, the pump probably needs to be rebuilt. So in the meantime, to come up with a way we don't have a lot of downtime, he gave me a quote for this impeller for that pump. We have a new pump, and it'll fit Peach or Titus. The problem is the impeller that's on it won't work for Titus Pump Station because it's a different head elevation, so it won't pump the same. So we can buy this impeller for $2,930, take the new pump, take the new impeller off of that, put this new impeller on, and it'll work for Titus Pump Station. When we do that, we can take the pump that's having a problem, have that sent out, and get a quote on what it will cost to repair, or whether it's worth buying a new one. So I'm looking for a approval to go ahead and buy this impeller.
Yep.
And then go ahead.
You said you had a quote for that?
Yes. It should have been attached in the what I sent.
I think it was.
Complete.
Walter, is that the quote that for the an impeller upgrade for the Flint spare pump for $2,930?
Yes, that is.
Should have it in your materials, members.
Excuse me?
I was just saying that it's in the materials that were sent out.
Okay, good. I thought so. I don't have it in front of me, right? I just have the quote in front of me.
Want to make a motion to approve the purchase of that impeller?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the impeller. Nick Theodosio.
John Uhalski, I'll second the motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Is that the last thing, Walter?
Let me double check. Pretty much, want to note that we scheduled the electrician to come in and make some repairs to some corroded conduit. He did that Friday, so that, I'll put that on next month's report. But just trying to take care of some safety problems.
Right.
That's it. Any questions, anyone?
No.
Anybody ask questions? Okay. Income report?
Yes, good evening. This is Jonathan Morrow. The income report. You collected $63,104.58. I can say that a good chunk of that is a payment by the Shady Knolls nursing home. And so it was a pretty good August, to be sure. What else? Well, you have your financial report, and you have a cash balance of $118,563.43, with $1,068,879.72 in your capital reserve. So when the billing goes out, we'll replenish. I also know that there has been talk about electronic billing and website billing, and you were sent a PowerPoint about the online payments. There's two options. I believe Melissa Meridian was supposed to be on this call, but I can't
think
seem
she
to
is.
get her quite as yet.
I'm here.
Melissa's
Oh,
here.
you're here? Oh,
I'm here.
sorry.
You're fine.
Hear you before. Melissa, if you could brief the board members about what you are presenting.
Sure. Again, Melissa Meridian from Veolia, billing manager here, working with Jonathan. I reached out to our rep, and unfortunately, the pricing has gone up in the last year for our online payment portal. So the PowerPoint slides I have show the two options that are currently available. Did everybody have a chance receive those? I was going to review them anyway. I'll start with the first option. Option one, which is called an integrated option, which would be a direct link to the billing software. And unfortunately, that is the pricey one. It's actually $400 a month now for the first year, $200 a month the second year, and then it goes down to $100 a month for the third year, and so on. The benefits for both are obviously check, ACH, credit or debit card. It would be a 2.95% fee passed on to the payee or your customers with a $1.95 minimum. In either option, the payee would receive an immediate receipt on their screen and an email receipt to the email address they provide. In both options, the Invoice Cloud is the vendor here. We provide a link where the town can put it, I believe we talked about on the sewer page of the website. And this fully integrated option, it would be real time directly to this software. So Jonathan and I, Walter, you would see those real time payments within moments of the payment occurring. And also the link, the customer would only have to put in their account number. So it'd be an very easy lookup for them. The second option is a straight $100 a month fee. It has the same type of credit debit card, e-check, same fee that we pass on to the customer, same confirmation, similar link. The difference here is that it's not directly linked. So the customer would actually have a form that we would pre-select the field. But the field would be blank. It would ask them for the account number, their first and last name, the amount they want to pay, and any other information we want to gather. Email address is required with online payments. And then would proceed them to a checkout screen like other shopping carts online. And then it would actually be a manual entry for us at that point. So we would get an Excel spreadsheet or actually go in, download it daily, or we go in multiple times a day. And we can receive emails as well as soon as everybody pays. So the big difference is that integrated versus non-integrated that they talk about, and that the customer would actually be entering their information. So another downside I see here is calling probably more for their account number and information, and how much do they owe. I mean, you could get that either way anyway. And obviously the manual entry. You know, maybe we could download it into a text file and import it, but it wouldn't be that real-time visibility. But there is a big price difference there. So again, these are the two options that the Invoice Cloud, our preferred vendor with the software, has presented to us.
Hey, Melissa, this is John Otley. The difference in fee is just for the first 2 years of implementation, right? After year 3, they're the same price?
Correct. So the first one has that big upfront fee. The first year is $400 a month, and then it goes down to $200 a month, and then year 3 and beyond, it would be $100 a month. They did say municipalities similar in size to Seymour have gone with option 2. And they have had success with it and people paying online. They didn't give me a percentage though.
Melissa, if you went with option 2, what's the lag time between the customer hitting the pay button and the information and money being moved, as opposed to option?
So, yeah, so versus option 1, we would see it right in the software right away, but with either option, the payee is going to get an immediate email confirmation receipt, and we can log into it's basically a CSR web portal that Jonathan and I would have access to, and we can see that payment right away. It's just, again, more manual. I believe with both options, it would be a daily deposit to the town's bank account that they provide, Monday through Friday, of course. And I think they reconcile on Monday with any over the weekend payments. So the money would actually be transferred directly to the town sewer account. Obviously, I'm sure that's what you guys would select.
So the downside
And I believe,
of option 2 is more on the customer experience than on the WPCA's experience.
correct. It's more
work for the
entry
customer. They have to fill out the blanks.
Yeah. Exactly. And even put in the amount that they want to pay.
Right.
Even with option 1, they wouldn't have to pay the full amount. You could, select pay other amount today.
Right.
But in that second option, they're actually typing in what amount they're going to pay.
Okay.
Melissa, this is Walter. So on option 1, that would be more hands-off for the WPCA or for John?
Yes, that as well. There'd be less manual entry. It'd be more directly linked to the accounts. It'd be a easier import. Jonathan and I would have to work out on option 2. I'd have to see about downloading the Excel spreadsheet, maybe putting it in a text file to then import into the software, or we would get the Excel spreadsheet and manually enter those payments. So it would definitely be more work, especially, I'm sure, during, the 2 times a year where payments are heaviest, or again, with late notices when they're heaviest.
Hi, everyone. It's Anne Marie. I just think if we're going to be processing payments anyways, either emailed or handed in, I would clearly go with option 2. I mean, that's the best way for our residents.
Melissa, this is John Otley. If the customer experience was such that at some point the commission wanted to move to option 1, would they have the ability to then at that point upgrade to option 1?
I would think so. It's definitely something I could ask. I can't see why not. And at that time, you'd be an existing customer already, so. I think there's some leverage with being an existing customer.
How long is the setup time, Melissa?
They said about 8 weeks from when the contract is signed. So that would be signatures from, the town.
All right. So we wouldn't be able to get it for the October billing.
No. Either way,
Right.
Jonathan and I are currently working, very close, actually waiting for the rate, the current rate to get billing for October out. Bills will be delivered to customers on October 1st. So no, but if you guys are doing a late notice in, November or December even, possibility for that.
And we could
If
add
not,
that, and you could add that to the bill or the late notice that, there's a, the link and how to
For
get
sure.
there.
Exactly. We could do a bill stuffer. We could put it, if it's a late notice, maybe, right on the late notice
Right on
itself.
the notice. Yep.
Yeah, depending on how you want to do it. Absolutely. And then you would have it obviously in place for April, I should say, for when they're delivered your next set of bills for the year.
And we can obviously put the link wherever we need to on the town's website.
Exactly. And that's where you'd want to direct
Think
your
would be able
customers.
to, would they allow it on more than one page of the town's website?
I believe so. I think it's a specific URL.
All right. 'Cause
So-
I thought it would be the two best places would be the tax collector's website, because most people figure they're paying their taxes, and then the WPCA site.
Exactly. As long as it's clearly labeled, I would say, on the tax, we make the button just, sewer.
Yep.
Sewer only. Yeah, I don't see why you can't have it in two places. And especially if you want option 2, it's a form they're filling out.
Right.
Just let me know. I'm happy to. If you want to move forward with either option, I can get an actual formal. This was a proposal, but then we'd move on to a written scope for execution would be the next step.
Great.
And if anybody has any other questions, more information, you all have my email, I think, now, and my contact phone numbers. I'm happy to talk anytime about it.
Thanks, Melissa.
Okay. Do you want me to stick around, anybody? Just feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything we have for income and finance. Thank you, Melissa, for showing up. I'm sorry I didn't hear you before.
No problem.
And right now, we can go into, if you so desire, go into your invoices, and I will read them off for the pleasure.
Okay.
Your first bill from Veolia Water, customary monthly bill, $124,883.94. There is the Long Island Sound Nutrient Reduction Program. It is the invoice that is $5,683. Nafis and Young, a bill for 3 inspections, $300. We had an issue with the engineering printer and had to call Joseph Merritt Company to fix it. They're saying a switch might have to be replaced, but they managed to get it up and running. That bill is $211.25. Attorney Proto's bill for $825, no cents.
You never make sense.
You said it, not me. A bill from the Office of the Town Clerk. This was for July. They got it to us late for $798. And another bill for the Town Clerk's office for past month for $204. William Jarvis Electric, replace a damaged conduit to a light switch, cost $616.87. Another one from William Jarvis Electric. It was the work in wiring the temporary generator for the South Derby Ave pump station, $732. And then for the internet, $292.82, and that's the Comcast Business. That's it, no capital.
Okay, Jonathan, thank you. Can I get a motion to accept the the bills and pay them?
Hold on a
Yeah, this
second.
is Don. I'll make a motion.
Wait, hold on. Jarvis's bill for replacing the conduit for the switch for $700. What did he do?
Oh, I'll be glad to tell you.
Okay. It seems like
The $700 one was the labor with the WPCA personnel to wire in the temporary generator for the South Derby Ave pump station. This was removing the wiring from the generator in the transfer switch and running the wire from the portable generator into the transfer switch. Drop power into station, test operation, determine rotation backwards, and correct. That was $732. It was 6 hours of labor.
and all right.
The one,
It just yeah, that's good. It just when you explained it, it was just conduit to a switch, and it didn't make any
okay.
sense.
Here's the other one. Basically, they replaced damaged conduit to a light switch near outdoor stairwell near the influent pump area. Conduit was threaded rigid, repiped with stainless steel fittings, and 6 hours of labor on that. And the rest is materials for the various couplings, bell box, switch covers, pole switch, etc. That's for $616.87.
Yeah, this is Walter. The conduit was totally corroded out. It was actually separated, and the wires were hanging out. So he had to replace some, sections of conduit also in there.
So you're all set, Nick? Okay, can I get a motion to pay the bills?
Yeah, this is Don. I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Legal report.
Big issue this month was working on our friends at Shady Knoll. As you might recall from last month, their outstanding bill was over $70,000. Had a number of conversations with the administrator, and as Jonathan indicated in his report, they made a payment probably the end of August. I think was just before the end of the month, in excess of $41,000, leaving them a balance of about $22,000 or so dollars, which they tell me will be paid in the near future. Other than that, that was about the extent of what we did this month from the legal perspective, is just trying to get them to pay that bill. Unfortunately, we were able to get them to pay a rather large chunk of it.
Ben, this is Jim. What was the reason why they couldn't pay it?
Why they didn't pay it?
Yeah, they were late.
Well, part of the problem is that I think the bill goes, Shady Knolls is owned by a parent company. And so the administrator didn't even know that there was an outstanding bill owed. And so I think it was one of those things where between the parent and the sub, they just never communicated with each other, and it just never got paid. If you look at their payment history, they tend to go a couple of billing cycles in October, April, pay before October. And this one went, normally it's like a 2 to 3 billing cycle payment for them. This one went almost to 4 billing cycles. And I think it was just internal error on their part.
Right. Hopefully they'll continue on paying their bills on time.
They're a very large user.
Okay, that's all you have then?
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Engineering, Mr. Galligan isn't here tonight. And
I can talk a little bit about Jim, just about the biofilter, but the stone was put in, it's been leveled. We have the mesh, the material to go over the stone, and I will call Jim this week, and they will get the wood chips, and then we'll put those in. And I think we've got to get the electrician back in to. There's something about the breakers in here. The fans that were put in over the last year, I think they're on the same circuit as those fans. So if we try to run them both, we're going to blow the circuit breaker. So it's got to be separated.
you have to have a look at the wiring, okay?
Yeah.
And that'll be all set once they do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any new business? Anybody get any letters?
Not for me, Mr. Chairman.
I have a couple of questions, though, if I may.
Sure.
Because I'm going to have to get off to get onto the Public Works meeting before 7 o'clock. So, Walter, I went through your annual flow and load adjustment, and I just want to make sure I read it correctly. So if I'm wrong, I need you to correct me, okay?
Go ahead.
There's going to be a monthly increase to our bill of $2,895.23 for an annual increase of $34,742.76, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we'll be paying Veolia roughly $125,000 a month, right?
Which is yes, it's part,
Okay.
and was part of in the budget, I guess.
Yep. I saw it was in the contract. Then.
Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Yeah, this amount was, the new rate will be $28.95 per month. The last one we did was $4,600 a month. 46, I forget the exact amount. It was like $4,610 per month. So what's happening is you've got your 3-year baseline, and then you're taking the year after that baseline, and if there's a increase of more than 10% from that 3-year baseline, then that's where these figures come from. And so that 3-year baseline has we've had some high flows in that 3-year period, and what you're going to see is as every year goes by, that number should go down because the flows have come down, but we're still got part of that high flows in that 3-year period.
Okay. And then I did see that you put in the dump truck as well as the flush truck inspections and with the reports that you guys have been doing normally. Thank you so much for putting those in. Have you notified Public Works in regard to the flush truck and all the issues that are ongoing with that?
I have been talking to Chris once in a while. He's still got things to do, and he knows that. But one of the problems he's had is there's parts that have been on order, and they're coming from Texas or somewhere. So he hasn't been able to get. It's been taking forever to get them. So I had talked to him about some of the other trucks that we want to have looked at, and he said, okay, well, I can't do it this week, but maybe next week. And that was a while ago. So we got to get back together and, get going with this stuff.
I know that there's other parts from the past inspections. I'm talking about the new inspections where we're having issues with the dashboard.
That's from the old. All these things have been ongoing, and when we got the truck back, I just, I said, okay, anything wrong with this truck, it's going on this report.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that Public Works was brought up to date on any of those issues. And the chip in the dump truck, I noticed on some of the inspections, some people are writing it, some people aren't writing it. It may not be big enough, for people to see.
It's not a big chip, but yeah, one, I know a couple guys are writing it down. There is a chip in the windshield, but it's not like a crack or anything coming down, so.
That's good.
We,
All right.
but it's something we will have to address in the future.
Yeah, because if they get stopped on Route 8 with that, because we drive that to Waterbury, correct?
Waterbury and Naugatuck.
All right, yeah, we want to get that checked, so we don't want anybody to get a ticket on that. First, just the chip. You never know, you might get an inspector who is just looking for something.
Jesus Christ.
True.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, is there any other new business? No. And I don't think we have an executive session. So with that, ask for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. John Yaholsky.
I'll second that, Eudosio.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, chair votes aye. Thank you very much, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good evening.
Night all.
Good night.